Hey, what is going on, guys? Heart Pirates TCG here. I just won my first anniversary event with this constructed deck right here, this Sakazuki right here. It is by far one of my favorite decks to play. It's just very, very high skill ceiling, high reward if you play it right, and I think I have been playing it pretty well the past couple days. And I just want to talk about the decisions I made and what I cut and the reason I cut the cards that I'm playing. And, you know, maybe it might work out for you if you want to build this exact deck. So real quick, before I start the video, I have gotten the exact prize support amounts for the tournament that I'm having on the 23rd. Again, I'm having a tournament. It's going to be a cash tournament on the 23rd. It's going to be through webcam. I've talked about this in a bunch of other videos, but I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. If you win, you will receive $1,000, and everyone else in the top 8 will receive $200 each through PayPal. Of course, if we have even more players, we need 80 people to sign up for us to make that happen. And then if we get more than 80 people, which I'm hoping we get 100, 200, 300 people, we're going to make the prize supports way, way bigger. Obviously, we're going to probably just double or triple it depending on how many we get. So top 8 to top 16 will probably get something massive. But yeah, for right now, if we get 80 people, first place will get $1,000, and second through 8 will get $200 to their PayPal. It's going to be fun because there's pretty much no tournaments for set 5. So for those of you guys who bought boxes, this is a good way to compete in a really big tournament. That way you're not just like wasting money building a deck that you're never really going to play. So without further ado, this is my Sakazuki deck. All right, we're playing double Mancherry. Very simple, very straightforward. Mancherry is just great at recycling. Pretty much you only really want to recycle Rebecca, but you can recycle like Lucci or like a 2K counter if you need to. I found that if they have no characters on the board, and like decks like Katakuri or Whitebeard, you can keep recycling Rebecca off of this. So like you leave this tapped, and obviously this is an activate main, so you can do it once per turn. You can leave this tapped, get Rebecca out the trash, play Rebecca. Rebecca gets whatever, right? A 2K counter, a Hina, whatever, and then plays it. And then if they go into swing into this, you just block with Rebecca, and then next turn you activate its effect, get Rebecca. It's really good. I'd love to fit 3 in these, if 3 in here, if I could. Not sure if I can though, because the deck list is really tight. Of course, we're playing quadruple brand new searches for your Navy stuff. And he's Blazehound plus 3,000, 6K at their life, which is just huge. And then, of course, we're playing quadruple Rebecca. One of the best cards in the deck. Rebecca is just absolutely insane. Like I said, it sets up a lot of your plays, like your recursion plays, because this deck runs out of cards pretty fast. So it helps set up your recursion plays, as in getting Hina back from the trash to minus the cost of something, or getting Lucci back from the trash if you already have like an Ice Age or Great Eruption or something like that, and just like helps really like lower the cost of things. And then she's also a blocker that can be recurred from the trash. So Rebecca's just fantastic. That's pretty much how I use her. And then we're playing only 3 of Lucci's. Guys, in my locals, there's like one Zoro that I rarely see because he doesn't really go to all the locals. There's one Zoro, there's like one ST10 Law, and a bunch of red purple Luffys. There's like a Whitebeard or 2 running around there, and then other than that, there's like just like random stuff, purple Luffy, this and that. So this doesn't really do great into those matchups for the most part. Like red purple Luffy doesn't really do great at unless you have like obviously like a 3-card combo, because even with like you need like an Ice Age and like a Great Eruption, or like a Hina and an Ice Age or whatever it is to get value from it. And I just finds that like it seems that like not often do I have all of those at my disposal so that he would be really, really, really good. And I found that he was clogging in hand a lot, and I kept discarding him to try to find like counter or something that was like even more impactful than him at the time. So I cut it to 3, and it's actually been playing a lot better personally. He's good in the mirror match, which is why he's recyclable. If there's more mirror matches, I consider playing 4 of him, but right now there's just not a lot of Sakazukis at my locals. So that's that. Then I'm playing 4 Borsalino. By the way, guys, I'm trying to get the alts for this deck, and it's just, I mean, God, they look so good. Borsalino, Lucci, Rebecca, they just look so good. Borsalino, I find, is actually just more important most of the time. If you play him on curve, he's just fantastic. This deck wants to go second, so if you go like Ice Age or Great Eruption plus your leader effect, you can pretty much bottom deck anything in the game. If not, he's just great at just establishing a body, and an 8K is great because he, you know, into Luffy and Whitebeard, he swings perfectly the magic number into it, which is 8K for their base, you know, leader stat. And then everyone else, he's just a big body that, you know, with Dawn on him, especially with like Blaze Hound, he swings at 11, which is, you know, can get the job done in most events. So that's Borsalino right there. Then we're playing double Kaido. I'm still looking for the alt for this one. I think someone's going to get it for me in a little bit, but or I'm going to trade for it basically. But Kaido is just so good, guys. In the mirror, especially in the mirror. Into Whitebeard too, he's pretty good. If you are at a relatively healthy life count, if you can drop him and then just not die the next turn, the draw 4 is just absolutely massive. Usually you play this after you have like 1 or 2 blockers like Borsalino and Rebecca, and then like you hide behind your blockers the turn you play this, and then you just have all the answers. This is great in the Katakuri too, by the way, guys. You'll see in a video, I'm not sure if this can come out before or after the video where I post a Katakuri matchup. But I played against a Katakuri. I went second because I won the dice roll. He played Yamato. I played Kaido. I drew into 2 Ice Age, Blaze Hound, and I think like a 3000 Worlds or something like that, or a Borsalino. Either way, like this card is just so good at getting the combo pieces you need against like very big decks. And then he's obviously just a 12k beater, so that puts in a lot of pressure on their life and can just, you know, get rid of pretty much any character on the board. And then right now we are playing 3 Barts. Actually, I added the 3rd Bart when I cut the 4th Lucci. This could very well be another Mansherry. I'm still kind of testing out ratios right now, but I like the 3rd Bart a lot because he can be a blocker into certain decks. But Mansherry is also pretty good. He could also just go back to the 4th Lucci if we see a lot of little guy decks into the meta. But right now we just don't have a lot. And then more 2Ks. We're playing 4 Tsuru, and then we're playing 4 Tashigi. Guys, I don't have winner Tashigis because every time I won tournaments in set 4, I would never get a set 4 winner pack. I'd get a set 3 winner pack. I'd get a set 2 winner pack. I just never had them. So still looking for 4 winner Tashigis. Or when I very rarely when I did win in set 4, or I'm sorry, I didn't rarely win in set 4, but when I did win in set 4, and when I rarely got the set 4 winner pack, I would get a Okiku every time. In fact, I don't think I pulled a single card that wasn't Okiku. Actually, yeah, I didn't pull a single winner card in set 4 that wasn't Okiku. That's why I had like 8 of them for sale at one point, which is just crazy. And I have another one too. Then I'm only playing 3 Hina. Another dead card in hand that's obviously easily recurring with cards like, what is it called? Cards like Rebecca, cards like Mansherry. It's also searchable, so you don't need to see 4 of them. It can be kind of dead sometimes in hand, but usually you just use this as discard fodder for, what's it called? For Rebecca. The only time you don't use it as discard fodder for Rebecca is if you are playing Rebecca to get a 2k out of the trash, and then you're playing this from hand in arrested mode. Because that's good because Rebecca doesn't have to get the same card that she plays. It's basically like law, you pick up or you get a card out of the trash and then you play something from your hand. It doesn't have to be the card that you picked up. I like it at 3, and the reason I play it at 3 is I'll show you in a little bit. But playing 4 Borsalino, this hasn't changed. This card is absolutely great at building the wall. I think building the wall is just so fantastic. We're not playing a whole lot of blockers in this deck with the 3 Borsalino. I think we're playing a total of 11, but he does the job. He is my favorite go-to turn 2 play. I don't like playing Rebecca until it's necessary, so he's great at just establishing a body, and I often attack with him too, so he's good for that too. Then, of course, for the events, we're playing 4 Blaze Hound, or I'm sorry, Hound Blaze. No need to talk about anything for that. It's just a really good card. Then we're playing 4 of the Great Eruption cycle card. Guys, at one point today, I played against a queen today in the anniversary event, and I played Great Eruption, drew into a card, played a Great Eruption, drew into a card, discarded something dead off my leader effect, drew into a 3rd Great Eruption, and then I drew into the Hound Blaze that I needed to draw to bottom deck his Yamato. It was just absolutely insane. Like the draw power, I think I drew 5 cards in one turn, because 3 for this, 1 for a leader, and then 1 for turn. Like it's just absolutely just nuts, right? Trigger I very rarely use, but it's there if you need it. And then we're playing 3 Ice Age. Guys, we decided to cut the Kuzan because the Kuzan was just like a prime target for Poly, and we have some purple Luffys at our meta too. So it was just a prime target for Poly, and then in the mirror match it would just get like Great Eruption and then Hound Blaze. So it was just too easy to deal with. And then the deck that we're really worried about, which is purple Luffy, because it can ramp faster than we can really keep up with, and then establish like really big bodies. Kuzan just like wasn't coming in handy. I think Ice Age is just overall better, because the turn that they play Kaido, like they're just gonna pop the Kuzan either way. So like unless you have 2 of them, it just like doesn't matter. But even if you do have 2 of them, they can like poly into Kaido, so they can just pop both of them. So I found that Kuzan was just like a super dead card, and I opted to play the Ice Ages instead. So I cut the 2 Kuzans for the Ice Ages. So now we have 6 cards with Ice Age and Hina that can -4 to 5 cost on a character. Which is just absolutely huge, and that puts them in my Borsalino range, which is why I'm playing 4 Borsalino. And it also, if you notice, if you just play Hina straight up, you know, and on a 10 Dawn turn, Hina's 3, Borsalino's 7, so that's perfect math right there. On top of leader effect, you can bottom deck a 9 cost, which a lot of times is a Kaido or a Newgate if they decide to play it. You know, or you know, Great Eruption plus your leader effect with Borsalino is a 7 cost kid. To the bottom of the deck, right? And then the only 2 events I'm playing after, which I played before, is these 3000 Worlds. Again, I just have a lot of like big decks in my meta. There's like queens. There's like 2 queens. There's purple Luffy. There's red purple Luffy. There's Newgate. So there's just so many decks that just play like, you know, characters that are like 5 to 9, that it's really hard for Lucci to get his value. But because 3000 Worlds exists, if I just use like Great Eruption or Ice Age on top of this, it gets rid of them basically for 5 Dawn. You know, especially with like with leader effect to minus. So this is like a great answer if like you don't want to use 4 cards to answer like a 9 cost Kaido, because sometimes, guys, you just don't have like Ice Age into Hina, into Ice Age, into Lucci. Like, it's just like sometimes you just don't have that. And this is where the 3000 Worlds comes in clutch. Also came in clutch as a trigger today. It just bottom decks like Brules and Paris Sparrows and whatnot. So I actually really like it a lot. But this very well could be Red Rock too. Like I think Red Rock still has a place in this meta, believe it or not, just because people will like hyper ramp, and then the trigger is also really good too. So if your meta is just like absolutely massive, and like no one's playing Sakazuki, no one's playing Zoro, no one's playing like ST10 Law, I could very well see these being Red Rocks, you know, if they're playing just like queens and whatnot. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, guys, this deck's worked out pretty well. I really like it. This is probably gonna be my primary deck, especially because I'm trying to alt it out, and I've already spent a ridiculous amount of money. Well, not really a whole lot of money, but I've traded pretty much every card I've pulled from my boxes that I got to trade for the alt. So that's why this is probably gonna be my primary deck, because it's the blinged out one. Let me know what you guys think about this deck. This is, you know, very similar to the list I'm gonna be playing for a while. If there's any, you know, changes I need to make in the future, I'll be sure to let you guys know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.